Every human being on this planet is unique. Now, I'm not gonna argue with that, but the truth is that some people are slightly more unique than others. Some can do the most unbelievable things with their bodies, while others have weird addictions, unusual hobbies and incredible skills. And then there are men with superpowers. Yup, I'm not kidding. Today we take a look at top 10 most unusual men you won't believe actually exist. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. Jordan Graham. A formerly obese man weighing over 400 pounds has lost half his body weight and now runs half marathons and competes in bodybuilding. Jordan Graham from California weighed in at 421 lbs. Doctors told Jordan he was eating himself to end, but he ignored the warnings, depressed and determined to keep eating because of a tragedy early on in his life. Overweight since he was a little boy. By the time he was 13, Jordan estimates he was 100 pounds bigger than everyone else his age. His mother would encourage Jordan to lose weight, but she unexpectedly died in her sleep when Jordan was just 14. Angry with the injustice of his mother's passing, Jordan's depression propelled him to drugs and food to numb his pain. He would go to the drive-thru at least twice a day and consume 10,000 calories a day. If it hadn't been for a major car crash one March morning, Jordan might have not been alive today. Jordan weighed 209 pounds, losing half of his body weight. After undergoing excess skin removal surgery, Jordan started bodybuilding and now weighs 250 lbs. Donnie Snyder Blue Tattooed. A young Canadian man who tattooed most of his body, including his face, hands, and legs bright blue, claims that the whimsical element has really helped him enjoy his life way more than before. Donnie Snyder, a 26-year-old former forklift driver from Scarborough, in Canada's Ontario region, started permanently coloring his body blue 3 years ago, and is now almost completely Smurf-like in color. Despite a series of abortive early tattoo attempts, the ink on his leg soon ignited Donnie's life's work and the social media star, who decided to use the hue to cover his body. Donnie, who shares his progress with his 4,792 followers on the Instagram, explained that he liked the plainness and simplicity of his design, and chose to see through the unusual body art to keep things interesting. Snyder admits that negative reactions are a part of his daily life as well, but says that he has learned to ignore them, as most insults are unimaginative and predictable. He says to keep an eye on the exploits of this real-life Smurf. Nick Smith. Nick Smith is one of the smallest men in the world, standing at 2 ft 6 inches. He suffers from microcephalic osteodysplastic primordial dwarfism, a rare condition which has a short life expectancy and causes illness is often associated with old age. Defying all medical expectations, Nick has recently celebrated his 28th birthday with his nearest and dearest. Nick's mother Shelley was there by his side on the big day. Primordials can suffer with illnesses often associated with old age and their life expectancy is very short. But she feels lucky to spend time with Nick and tries to see the positive side of his condition. Shelley cherishes the time she has with Nick and sees the positive side of his young mentality, as it has helped keep their close bond. After undergoing life-changing procedures, Shelley is hopeful for Nick's future. She says, "Having Nick has changed my life. He is happy, he's loving. You have never felt a love like Nick's love." Kane Buffonge. Kane Buffonge is expected to hit the catwalk for some of the world's biggest designers at London Collections Men. Buffonge, who is known for his braces, freckles and different color dyes, was scouted last September when he was on his way to play football in Westbourne Park with friends. His unusual looks have made him one of his agency's most in-demand models. Within 2 weeks of being scouted, he flew to Venice to model for Diesel, and has since worked in New York and walked in London's Graduate Showcase. He is set to be busy at London Collections Men, but Buffonge, who is in his first year at the University of East London studying sports science, never used to like having his picture taken. Buffonge always planned to be a pet teacher, but is looking forward to his first experience of London Collections Men with agency. He said, he feels blessed to be modeling. I was walking around the city looking at the lights, and was just completely taken back by it all. I'm so fortunate. Boris Milosevic. Boris Milozic, who is a member of the Split Diving Club, is the first man to walk 100 meters underwater and thus enter the Guinness Book of Records. Young Croatian freediver Boris Milozic, 23, broke the world record for walking underwater at the pool in Marina Castella. He says, "I'm very excited. Today I will try to set the world record currently held by a Turk, which is 80 meters. Physically all this is not difficult. I need to focus more mentally on what I do," he said before his successful attempt. He managed to beat the old record by 21 meters and reach the target distance of 100 meters, walking underwater. Despite having only days for organization, he especially managed to set up an event with class. Last year, Milozic set a new fins diving world record with a distance of 234 meters. He was born in Austria to move to Split at the age of 18. He regrets that diving is still not an Olympic sport. He eventually said he was living his dream. Alex Lewis, a father who lost all 4 limbs and his lips to a deadly infection, has revealed he wouldn't take them back if he was given the chance, as he has gone on to achieve his dreams. Alex Lewis from Stockbridge in Hampshire, who lives with wife Lucy Townsend and son Sam, 8, had skin from his shoulder grafted around his mouth after he lost part of his face because of a vicious flesh-eating infection and had lips tattooed onto the skin. Mr. Lewis says he is the first person to ever have the surgery to cover both his top and bottom lips at once with a single piece of skin. His ordeal began in November 2013 when what he thought was a routine cold turned into a series of infections which left him with a 3% chance of survival. Mr. Lewis said he feels as though his family had a more difficult experience watching him go through the horror. As far as his recovery is concerned, Alex has praised the support of his wife and son. Now Alex and Lucy are facing some of their biggest career challenges to date, despite his disabilities. David Rush. The United States man identified as David Rush had broken more than 100 world records, and it was not for the first time that he broke this record. Last time when Rush captured it, he was able to balance 8 chairs on his chin. However, his accomplishment was beaten earlier this year by Joe Rawlings, when he was able to balance 11 chairs on his chin. Rush, however, did not lose hope and traveled to Hendersonville, an area in North Carolina, to appear on TBN's Huckabee show. At the show, Rush was initially given 12 chairs to break the record. However, he chose to go with 3 more, piling up 15 chairs. In his first attempt, Rush was only able to lift the chairs for a mere 4 seconds. Rush, who was able to lift the chairs for 10 seconds on his chin in the second go, setting a world record. Jeff Dabe. An arm wrestler with 19-inch forearms has earned himself the nickname Popey from fans as he travels America competing to become the world champion. Jeff Dabe's monster forearms measure 19 inches in circumference, with the strongman's hands big enough to fit a basketball in each hand. Tests have been conducted to discover what makes Jeff's arms so large, as family photographs show he was born with oversized limbs. Having looked for signs of gigantism and elephantiasis, the University of Minnesota concluded that there were no signs of the disease or abnormalities. The arm wrestler from Stacey, Minnesota, has been competing in arm wrestling tournaments since the 1980s. Initially, Jeff did not focus purely on arm wrestling based training. He would build up strength carrying out farm chores, chopping wood and working with heavy equipment. Recently, Jeff has begun taking arm wrestling more seriously, welding his own practice table and hitting the weights. Gia's Wave. When most people think of male hair YouTube channels, Gio's Wave is often the first one to come to mind. I first learned about Gia Vanifera, aka Gio, from Brian Karani's channel. His hair is so long that has its own pillow for sleeping. He makes videos on growing longer, stronger, healthier curls. Thankfully, there are people like Gio, a men's lifestyle and hair YouTuber who gives us haircare secrets for growing healthy and strong hair. His YouTube channel, Gio's Wave, garnered over 303k subscribers and his Instagram account 359k followers. Posted a video of Gio's long curly mane. He has some unique and quick hairstyles for men with long hair. It wasn't easy finding masculine hairstyles for men, while his hair is straight. Gio's curly hair routine is pretty mesmerizing to watch. He's also super fine, so trust us when we say his videos are easy on the eyes. Zheng Tao. China's Zheng Tao set a new world record to win gold in the men's 100 meters backstroke S6 final at the Rio Paralympics in 2012. Zheng clocked 1 minute 10.84 seconds to eclipse the previous record held by his compatriot Jia Hongguang by 1.43 seconds. He says, "It is very hard to break a world record. I have worked so hard to do this. I'm so excited. When I started competing I didn't do a good job, but since then, I have always achieved my goals." Zheng lost his arms after suffering an electric shock when he was a child. He will also compete in the 50-meter freestyle and 50-meter butterfly here. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With this being said, let's begin.